Random thoughts. In this video, we are going to read part of Douglas Jardine's book, The Mad Mullah. This is a sort of biography of Mohammed Abdullah Hassan, and this is a book that was published in the early 1920s. And Douglas Jardine used to be what was known as the secretary to the administration Somaliland between 1916 and 1921. He was technically second in command in Somaliland during this time, and it is during this time that the Dervish War, is coming to an end. So it was at a very critical point. Now, we are still in the very first chapter where he's giving us the backdrop of the land and the people and the geography information. I think he realized that we needed to have so that we are able to appreciate and understand whatever he's going to say about the life and activities of Mohammed Abdullah Hassan. Now, in this chapter, there is also a place where it shows us or it describes to us how it was so difficult to impress Somalis. You could show them something that they've never seen before, but they were not going to be impressed, or that could not make them think of you as being superior to them. And I found that to be very interesting. He says, if you ask a Somali whether he knows how to do anything, he invariably replies, without quote, that a Somali knows everything. If you prove to him that there is something he does not know, he merely exclaims, Walai, by God, as though it were altogether too surprising to be true. When in January 1920, this squadron of the Royal Air Force arrived at Berbera, those are aeroplanes, the average sophisticated Somali, instead of expressing surprise and admiration at such a remarkable invention of modern science as the aeroplane, as might not unreasonably be anticipated, gave but a passing glance to the machines and remarked that the Somali will also build aeroplanes if only he knew how, which is a good attitude, to be honest. Like, they bring these aeroplanes, and they are expecting the Somalis to be so impressed and to be in this awe mood of how is this even possible? And maybe to think you people must be superhumans to build such machines. But no, they just look at them and they're like, you know what, even us, we can do this. You just don't know how to do it, but we can do it, which is actually true because it's just knowledge. If you have the knowledge, you can do it. If you don't have the knowledge, you don't do it. It has nothing to do with your DNA or genetic makeup, which is actually very true. He continued to say, and it was not long before it was generally stated in the Berbera Bazaar that the Sahibs had handed over the machines to Somali pilots and that they had done so because the Somalis could drive them so much better than they. So this is very funny, actually. So, of course, there are these places people meet and talk, and just, it's normal. We can call it jabber stories. People just tell one another to pass time. And some people are actually telling others that, the aeroplanes the British brought, did you know that they gave Somalis to fly them because Somalis are better than them? Yeah, so they did not want to admit that they could not do what the British could do. They just thought they were better than the British, but there's something the British knew that they did not know, but that's all. It's just knowledge, which is actually true. Unlike other places where maybe, or other people where they will show them these things and people will be so amazed and people will attach that ability to produce such kinds of machines with these people being near gods. And then that becomes a tool of manipulation and control. That happened a lot in very many parts of the world, actually. The British or the Europeans or any other groups of people will bring these wonderful and sophisticated machines and show the locals, and the locals will be like, whoa, you people are a different class of humans. But the Somalis could not take that. The Somalis, even when they were very ignorant, they still would not accept that they were inferior. Now, this thinking of themselves as being equal or superior to the British, or at least equal to the British, Jardine explains it in another part where he says, during the Great War, and I guess this is the war with the Dervish War, a traveled Somali was one asked by a British officer, which he thought were the greatest races in the world. He promptly replied that the British were the greatest. Asked which he could place next, he said the Somalis were equally great, like the British. So they asked the Somali, who are the greatest, or which is the greatest race of people? He says the British, and he says, yeah, the Somalis are also as great as the British. And he continues, the Arabs he placed third and the Germans fourth. But he resolutely declined to accord places to any other nation. So he gives the Arabs the number 3. Remember, the Somali and the British are tied at number 1. So we have number 3, the Arabs, and then we have the Germans, number 4. But then he refuses to give the other groups of people any positions. To him, those who are the people that deserved to be given positions. And then he asked why the British ruled over the Somalis if both were equally great. He replied that he suppose it was because the British possessed so many rupees. So then he's asked, okay, if the British and the Somalis are equals, then why are the British ruling over you people? He said, no, it's because you people have more money than us. Just that. It's nothing special, just the money you people have. We had the same amount of money like you guys. You not rule over us. Which is a good attitude, actually, even though to Jardine, it sounded like it's crazy. It's out of this one because Jardine came from an era when, of course, the British thought of themselves as a superior race. So for this Somali guy to say, oh, we are equal, it was absurd to him. But in today's world, it's not absurd. It's actually factual. It's actually true. Those are my random thoughts.